Justin is first one with the question.
Second night in a row.
2 in a row, back to back.
And that's you. Hashtag back to back. How do you characterize your team's response? Not only getting back to back wins, but falling down one set and battling back like that.
You know, I think they really are trying to show off their response capabilities because that was a slow start. Obviously, our first contact passing, we struggled, but I'm proud of them. They bounced back. I think we're learning that first contact, we need to be ready to go from the start of the match. But I'm proud of them. They have an urgent competitive chemistry that they could sense in that match, and I'm like, we just need to figure out how to get there faster. So that's good to know on the road. 2 road wins. I mean, that's a great way to start the season.
Okay, one quick follow-up. Obviously, you can speak more on this. I'm no guru, but 10 blocks in a match seems like you were really giving them problems. I love offense, but your defense was pretty good, right?
Yeah. Well, this team, they want to grind, and that's what we always say. That's what you had to grind to get back into that match. But the blocking really that was the difference. I mean, it was 10-5. So that's like imposing your will on someone. And it's one frustrating if you're digging them, but if you're blocking them, I mean, I think that gets in attackers' heads in frustration more than anything. So I'm proud of that fight and that drive. Yeah, they set the tone with that.
Hashtag 2 good questions. Thank you.
Hashtag tinkering with questions.
Next up is Mike Lucas.
Can we get
Speaking of back,
Can we get Justin?
Speaking of back-to-back. Sorry.
Yeah, back. Well, we need Marissa to be the judge of if Justin's questions are good or not. I don't know if Justin could give himself the good question tab. So, Marissa, I hate to add on to your workload, but this is all now on. Yeah. I do have a question, though, Coach. You guys, drop the final 4 games in the fall, come out and start the spring with a sweep on the road. So, you talk about the resilience and the response of your team today, but in general, over the last 2.5 months, what can you say about your team's response to adversity, ending the fall and then starting the spring on the right foot?
Well, I know I mentioned this last night, but that time was imperative for us. We needed the time with all the new pieces we had in the gym, and the team chemistry is what we were lacking. And now they kind of feel that. We've had a true preseason. I know we weren't competing against teams, but we had a true preseason where we could really focus on that. So that's been the biggest difference for us. And it's awesome to see. I mean, opening weekend, you always new people out there, you wonder what it's going to feel like, but I love the vibe that they have going on right now.
Also, are you guys in a spaceship right now? Like, where are you?
Not in the gym.
Whatever it is.
We're hanging out in the lobby. We're just right outside the locker room.
It looks like a
special lighting
from here. Just to FYI.
I wish I was in a spaceship, but I'm not.
That wasn't a question. It was I'll take the loss on that one.
But that's a terrible question. It's like you're bringing down KX, bro.
It was a statement.
Moving on with Richard Zane.
Yeah, they're like, is this an interview or are they just hanging out on Zoom? Oh, okay.
There's definitely a question mark at the end of that statement, Michael. Anyways, Coach, you guys went down 1-0, and you guys went down early in that 4th set. Just wondering, what was your message to the team both times to get them back on track?
It comes down to the first contact. Obviously, our serving kept us in that match last night and tonight, but our passing, we had to be in system to give ourselves any chance and option, but our pins carried us. Claire Jeter played well tonight, and Lauren and Morgan, I mean, they were smart with the ball, and they got kills when they knew they could. So we didn't pass great, but they were very smart. So our pins really pulled through for us.
You touched on Jeter's performance. How great was she tonight, and what has allowed her to step into that role as a freshman?
She's really focused and owned being on the right. Her and Trey have been competing for the last, month and a half, and she's earned it just like everyone. They earn their spots, and I think that's what helps them be able to perform in these moments and make that experience theirs. But I'm proud of her. She has one of the best serves on our team, too. So for her to kind of step up in that role, I mean, she's just doing her job. That's what it's all about, doing your job.
Thanks, Coach.
Next up, we have Jennifer Streeter.
Hey, Coach, kind of similar to the question I asked yesterday, but you said that, winning your second game of your doubleheader felt great. Can you kind of elaborate on that and how good it feels to be going back to College Station with those, wins in y'all's pocket?
It's huge to go on the road and go 2-0, even in the middle of a season, but let alone to start your spring season. And like I said, with our lineup and the new pieces, that's just good for this team. It's a great way to start, but it's just the foundation. We have a lot to work on and get better. Just clean up the middle of the game, the ball control. We have Kentucky next, so I'm glad we have. I think Colby said 9 days. He's the numbers guy. I think he said 9 days. So.
And then, how much do you think discipline at the net contributed to y'all's win tonight?
One of the big things that we took away from last night is being disciplined with our hands and taking balls at the take. Like they had to block on their way up because the timing was a little off. And I think they did that. They really cleaned it up and took care of the net. The overpasses, terminating on those. Yeah, I'll leave it at that. That's good.
Thanks, Coach.